Lee, and LifeVac advocate and president of sales, Rick Fatscher.
Is this it, Bobby? Hey, welcome to the Man in the Arena, brought to you by LifeVac. The airway clearance device that has now saved, count it, 3,000, over 3,500 lives in 39 different countries. Go to lifevac.net, get the original, authentic LifeVac. Use code MITA for discount on protecting those you love, and even those you just like.
Yeah, why not?
Why not save everyone?
Maybe you don't know.
For those of you that don't know, listen, we're going live. We're live tonight on Facebook and YouTube. This weekend and every weekend, you can listen to the Man in the Arena in Los Angeles, in Houston, in Orlando, in New York. The stations will be provided, and so we're so glad. We do have to make that disclaimer, though, that we tape on a Thursday night, and we may not be on live with these cities for another few weeks. So we don't
start to get it.
Right. But they're listening. They had just, all those folks out in those four cities have just listened to the news. So it would be possible that we would seem insensitive if something bad had happened. Anyway, I'm Rick Fatscher.
Who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
It's a good way to bet on this.
Again, I'm Rick Fatscher. I'm along with Patrick O'Rourke and founder and CEO of LifeVac, Arthur Lee, and also joined tonight for the first time. She's a veteran here, but first time on the new set of Man in the Arena, Heidi Felix. Heidi,
Hi.
welcome.
National Felix.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
We got good news.
Oh, good news to share. And Arthur, we've been busy. We got a great show coming up. We're going to talk to Ginny Dean out in California, her second
save.
inspired save. And also later, we're going to be talking to Larry Zacharies, just an incredible individual, great history, over 30 years serving the public in a health related fields. And now he's out heading up all efforts at Stony Brook University, not just the university, the hospital as well. But before that, Arthur, you had a busy week.
Well, we always did. Heidi outdoes me, but I just had a really cool moment. I was at Joe Piscopo's book signing. Joe asked me to come out to Donald Trump's national golf course out there. And there's a couple cool things. One, definitely consider the book. I've read a lot of it already. It's terrific. And Joe's a great guy. So I'm at the event, and a guy comes up to me and he says, "Hey, can I take a picture with you?" And I'm like, "Okay." And then he goes to tell me that LifeVac saved his daughter.
Wow.
And, he didn't report it, right? And it's just such a moment of confusion at first, right? And he gets emotional. I got emotional. She was special needs. And it was just a magical night, And, Joe, he's so gracious. He goes around and thanks everyone for coming.
Wow.
But I guess between Joe's gratitude and graciousness to others and him coming up and telling me that he saved his daughter, look at me right in the face, that it really humbles you to say, I hope there's plenty of saves we don't know about. And I think it's a real gift when someone comes up and just tells me that. And it really fit in with Joe's personality of, just a humble, gracious guy and grateful and thanking me for coming,
Yeah. And he's a dear friend of LifeVac's.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
How many is he responsible
That's why
for?
it was a God wink. He's up like 12 or something.
Amazing.
That have seen, heard him and bought a LifeVac and saved a life. But it's just a combination, It's another God wink, right? He was there. He's always been there for us. He's got his great new book. And a guy comes up and tells me he used LifeVac to save his daughter's life.
Wow. So the book, Average Joe, the memoirs of a blue-collar entertainer. Gosh, we all grew up. We all grew up with Joe. We'll see him in a couple weeks.
Yeah, he said he'd come on the show for our silly chapter, which I think would be appropriate.
Fits right in.
We'll talk a little more about his book, but it's really, the book's great, but it was just a moment. And I love to share them because, you never know how you impact people, whether it's his graciousness and gratitude and friendships. I mean, he's got guys there he's friends with 40 years, It's like Brian and you guys. And
you guys.
We should be very grateful for that. And then to get a save right in my face at that time, it's just another God wink as we keep going.
Yeah.
So I thought it was cool to share.
That happened to me last night at the Nassau County Police Academy.
Really?
So 2 of the Nassau County police officers actually came to me and said, one saved his daughter
Oh God.
and the other one saved somebody else. And he goes, I didn't know that we could get a replacement.
Yeah.
So I had the chief of patrol, Kevin, comes over to me. He's like, I want to introduce you to these 2 guys. And I go, are you going to send me a report so that we know, what happened? But we actually were at the Holbrook Costco doing our road show, and we saw 2 people that actually also were Nassau County police officers that
Got a good
saved
radio
lives.
voice, doesn't
Oh,
she?
absolutely.
Oh,
Pat,
thank
you have a good radio voice.
And picks up the crew too. It's much better looking crew tonight.
Yeah. We have more faces for radio.
And she
than
forgot the
height.
dress code. She
Yeah.
dressed very nicely.
Yeah.
Well, I was at an event today, but
You can't see my pants.
I was at an event today too.
She's
But
the
that
lady
isn't
in
that
red.
the coolest
was the
thing? Like you
coolest
get
thing.
hit right between the eyes
like-
with these moments of like gratitude, right?
Uh.
And especially when they're not reported.
yeah.
It's like, oh, really?
And this guy goes, it was the scariest thing because it was my daughter.
Ugh.
And here he is, the police officer. So, certainly the idea that he knew how to use it,
Right.
but he had his own personal one for
Mm.
home. But I have to tell you, I sold out last night because they were all begging me for it. And I got phone calls today all going, I heard you were at the police academy last night. So I said, yes, I was.
We always do that.
Yeah.
But that I'm glad you get that moment. You get any of those at Costco when you were there?
Unbelievable amount of people at Costco. And I think I was with Ryan, Roadshow Ryan, where in one course of 2 days, 5 people unreported saves, obviously come up and they're, this happened. And what we always think that it's an underestimate. I mean, we have to,
Yeah.
it's way over 3,500 lives.
Oh, yeah. One of the ladies
Especially
who
when you
met
meet
you
'em.
there in Oceanside was at the event last night and told me about her choking incident. I took
Told
a
you
pic.
about meeting the famous Rick Fatscher?
She
Probably
goes,
not.
there was this tall guy. He was really funny. He stuck the thing on his face. I go, that would be Rick.
Yeah, if it wasn't Arthur, he taught me that.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Yeah.
The face sucking move.
Yeah,
She
but
goes,
without further ado,
I do.
I'd love to
No joke.
for Heidi
about that.
to introduce her friend Ginny
Oh,
Dean. Now,
that's
Pat,
good.
And I just want to, the more we're on this show and the more we hear about the unreported ones, I bet you there's twice as much
I know.
unreported as
I think
reported.
I think you're
Right.
right.
I mean, we're pumping our chest out for 3,500.
Yeah.
You're probably over 10,000. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what's cool though is like we never had a way to be out publicly to kind of run into people like you have.
Mhm.
But being at Costco, we get a lot.
Yeah.
And I obviously as we save more, but that's the second time I've run into someone that said, by the way,
yeah,
but
be a
what
fluke.
what a unbelievable by the way.
Yeah.
You
it's,
know?
it makes your day.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yep.
Yeah, people are so grateful. They don't necessarily either know or care really about the replacement. They're just so happy about it. And, talk about the information that, the other reason to report it, share it with us.
Oh,
Help
well,
save
that's
other
all
lives.
data. That's data. And obviously, if they're enthusiastic and want to help us and share their message, and we built the LifeVac family. I mean, we have so many now, and it's so cool. Like the Haynes are having another baby, and like
Yeah.
Now
we
you're
know 'em.
dying. I can't believe it.
And
And Meadow won a fishing contest thanks to
Yeah.
the LifeVac family
Yeah.
help.
But
So-
explain
yeah.
why you have to replace them after you
we
use
get a
them, or-
free one, but only because if you could see the radio
Something
on
gets
the
caught up
camp,
in
but
there?
it's just
Right.
these ridges. Like you suck snot or goofy stuff in there.
Body
So,
fluids.
yeah,
Okay.
we'd
Yeah.
rather just give you
Vomit.
those. But hey,
It
look,
can be
But
cleaned.
you can rinse it.
Yes,
yes,
yes.
you can't. Well, we
Yes.
always say because the beginning people are like, I'll say I don't want to get rid of it. We're
This
like,
one's good luck now.
just
Yes.
hang on to it. We'll give you another one.
Yeah.
But it's really sanitary and the data and also the joy. I mean, you see the Hall of
Oh,
Saves,
the Hall of
right?
Saves.
So-
For those listening, those that watch the show on Facebook see the Hall of Saves every week, and we've seen it in the commercials. But those listening on the radio can just imagine a room filled with over 3,500 pictures, families.
4x4
communities.
pictures.
It's a lot of
3,500
messy
them.
life facts.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, we used to get them back and put them on the wall because we were like filling up space, right?
Just took up too much room.
Oh, well, yeah, we didn't need 35, or we'd have to have the Coliseum.
Yeah.
So
This is pre-COVID.
we kind of said, all right, you keep it, chuck it out.
Yeah.
Put it in the recycling bin.
Yeah.
So,
So second save for
so
Miss Ginny Dean. Go ahead.
I'll give you a little background. So this lovely woman called me about 4 years ago. She was a mother and a grandmother and wanted to purchase for her family. And her name is Ginny Dean, and she is the president of the Technology Depot. And as the Technology Depot actually works with a lot of security, specifically law enforcement, because of what they do for a living. And so she's out in California, And she just wanted to be able to purchase and, give them to her family. And then she said, you know what? I would really like to start an entire safety division. So she started a safety division for the Technology Depot, went into all of our clients and told them all about LifeVac. And she's done such a remarkable job building relationships with law enforcement. And what was wonderful is that she implemented it at the El Monte PD. And we, of course, saw within 3 weeks that there was a save, which was beautiful.
3 weeks from implementation. It's amazing.
Yes. So what
Oh,
was
God,
really great, so when she called me about that one, she was in Italy and I was standing in the Hall of Saves when the whole thing happened. And we both started crying because I said to her, I told you were going to save lives. And she said, I know, it's just the best feeling. So Arthur, you got a chance to meet those police officers.
I got a message from the chief today
I
because he
know.
saw the commercial.
Chief Wernick?
Yeah. And I love all of them, Roger, the chief, and the two, can't remember the top of my head, but they're all just great guys.
So great.
And being out there and going through the department and seeing the kid put the medal. That's Jenny Dean did it. She reminds me of you.
She's
She's
amazing.
a little sparkly spark plug.
A lot of energy.
Beautiful and kind.
And when
so-
you meet her, she does,
That's-
tech, enterprise
At that point.
technologies, cloud connect solutions. And then she branched into safety and, thank goodness, 2 saves already.
2 saves. And then the
bring
second
her on.
time, what was so wonderful, she was implementing it. She said, I just finished the training at Azusa, which is where her company is based. And she wanted to make sure that it was implemented in that community because obviously that's where the Technology Depot
It would be
is.
great if we could talk to her tonight.
Well, is she there I hope
She in
she's
Italy?
there.
Jenny Dean. There she is.
What's the
I'm
sauce?
talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
it. I can't see her.
Pat was a little disappointed, right, Pat?
With what?
With the
Uh-oh.
Ginny. You thought it was Jimmy Dean.
Oh,
At
yeah,
first.
the sausage. I didn't.
Yeah. He thought there was going to
Yeah,
be tonight. Sorry.
It smelled like
I
breakfast.
wish I were that person.
No,
Oh my
we're
gosh.
glad.
Do you
we're
get it all the
glad that
time?
You're not,
Hey,
and
me
you're
hungry.
Ginny.
I am Jenny Dean.
This
Thank
is
you for
Jenny
having me today. I'm happy to
love
be
you.
here.
You're amazing. You're absolutely amazing. So, Ginny, you got a chance to come on out for our 3,000 Live Save party, and you had a chance to see the Hall of Save. So, you get a chance to see what you're going to be adding to now with, our amazing story. So, I want you to kind of share a little background about, why you got involved with us and, from your perspective.
Okay, so the LifeVac product I saw just through an advertisement, I think on Facebook or somewhere. I ended up buying a lot of them for my family, full retail. And so I loved the product, decided, I can sell this product. And based on all the local police agencies, schools, hospitals, hotels that my companies provide service to. Anyway, you guys agreed to allow me the honor of representing your product. And so the number one thing for me is I want that LifeVac in the back of every patrol car in LA County.
Ooh.
And I'm passionate about getting that done, and specifically in San Gabriel Valley. So for this particular save for Azusa Police Department, I sold them pretty close to the start of the beginning of this year, 2025. I personally did the hands-on end user training, the demo on how to take it out of the to-go bag, how to put it together in a hurry, and what to do. Because the police officers cannot fumble. You have to have touched it, put it together. This is my opinion and why I'm offering all that training as part of their purchase. So on the 21st of February, let's rewind. It was
12.
January 31st is when I finished my training. And I met with all the officers. They were great guys. They were interested in the product, and everyone did a good job. So a couple of days ago, last Friday on the 21st, a Azusa police officer came to my door here in my building. And I was like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here?
It's never been a good night of my life.
What'd
Pat.
you do?
So
Yeah.
after the hello, how are yous? He
Hello.
stated that earlier in the week, which was the week of February 17th. Now, keep in mind, this has been less than 3 weeks that the actual save took place. He told me that he had responded to a call and had used the LifeVac. So I said, well, come in my office. I want the details. I have to know. So what he told me is while on duty, he was dispatched to what's called a care home. And he was provided with information that there was a female in her 40s who was not breathing. She was semi-conscious and possibly choking. So upon arrival at the care home, let's see, he determined that the staff had attempted the Heimlich maneuver several times with zero success.
Always give it a try.
So he had his LifeVac with him. The Azusa Police Department provided LifeVac. And he said he moved the victim onto the floor. And he said, based on the provided LifeVac training, he knew exactly what to do, which was place, push, pull. He told me after a few pulls, his name is Officer Jacob Bentz. He extracted several chunks of a peanut butter sandwich after several pulls, and she did return to labored breathing. Then he told me he turned her on her side to assist with breathing and ensure that she didn't aspirate any other body fluids as a result of this choking. He told me then following that, the fire department stepped in and used some sort of a tool to clear the remaining peanut butter that was in the airway. And she was transported to a local hospital here. I was so proud of him. He is a hero.
Yeah.
I mean, high fives all the way through the room.
You're listening, absolutely. You're listening to Ginny Dean of the Technology Depot in California. And I want to mention that this is going to be going out on the Patriot. So if that radio station sounds familiar and it reaches all of LA County, if you're not one of Azusa or Almonte counties or the police departments, you want to reach out to Ginny Dean. How can people get in touch with you, Ginny?
Through my website, thetechnologydepot.com. And then my number is 858-427-4464 direct. I always answer my phone. Because every call,
you got
let's get back. I don't know if I can
number world.
share all that, but moving on I want to get back to Officer Jacob Bentz.
Sure.
Yeah.
He is remarkable and so humble. He's fairly new to Azusa PD, as it turns out. I believe he was sworn in July. And so he's new, single patrol car riding by himself. And when he told me this, he was not boastful at all. He was just very matter of fact. But I was just so proud of him.
Amazing.
It was
so happy when I got that call. She goes, "You're never going to believe this, but."
Couldn't believe it.
I love to hear
Will he
these
get
stories.
a citation or an award or anything? Something like that? Or
I have no idea. I have no idea.
save someone's
The Almonte
life.
guys did that. I got to go. That was one of the best
The Almonte
things ever.
guys did.
Yeah.
You know, I
They
feel
all
like,
deserve it.
oh, they do. And you know what I would loved is that he didn't want to be without it, right, Ginny? Isn't that why he came to visit you?
Thank you. That's right. And so he did not want to have his patrol car without a LifeVac. So I reached in my supply and just handed him a replacement, which he was very thankful. He's a very kind, humble person, just doing his job. I made a huge deal out of it because it's incredible. That could have been my daughter.
Yeah.
Right.
Easily.
Exactly. And not only that, you also showed him how to report the life saved. Which,
I did.
Right? I mean, I know it's something that you include in your training, but very oftentimes they just forget, right?
Right. So I took him right to your website, showed him where to click, what the form looks like, and so forth.
Yeah. Well, Ginny, you keep deploying LifeVacs, and the police keep saving folks, and you keep joining us here on the Man in the Woman in the
I want you
Arena.
to be a
in this
regular.
case.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that would
Really
be cool.
great,
if you
Jenny.
come on every week with a save, that'd be fun. You could do that.
I have to say, you guys are also so easy to do business with, and I appreciate each of you.
Save lives.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear.
We
You're
thank
the
you so
best.
much, and we'll be right back with more.
Okay.
The Man in the
Thank
Arena.
you.
She started to choke on a piece of candy.
She wasn't breathing.
Then Ray reached for the LifeVac and it saved her.
She could have easily died that day. A LifeVac saved her life. What I would say is don't need a LifeVac and not have it. Have a LifeVac and hopefully never need it.
Recently, the American Red Cross has added anti-choking devices as an option when standard protocol fails or is not feasible.
Go to lifevac.net or call 877-543-3822.
23 minutes. And we're back on the Man in the Arena. I'm Rick Fatscher. Still, I'm with Pat O'Rourke, Arthur Lee, CEO inventor, and we're joined by Mr. Lawrence Zacharis. Mr. Zacharis, it's been a long time coming, but we welcome you to the Man in the Arena.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. That easier than I've done the road and talking on yourself.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes, bring us back to the first time we spoke after many attempts at speaking, and you were dropping the daughter off at Scranton. We were sitting in the confines, Heidi and I, at the Hall of Saves in Wisconsin, but it was great to finally connect.
I only videos
Oh.
and you know.
Oh,
behind
wait
the
till you
scenes,
see
so,
it. It's ridiculous. You'll get it.
Yeah, so your connection to LifeVac, not only, I know you had an awareness of it, but is through family, really. Couple degrees of separation. You worked with Ralph Benelli.
That's correct. Yeah, a million years ago. We won't say how many, but
Yeah,
I had a
well,
little
you've
more
been-
hair on top, and this hair was not as gray.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So 30
So
years.
you a
does-
police officer?
yeah.
yeah, still technically in a different capacity, but I started in 1998 in the NYPD, where Ralph and I worked together. and,
Oh, wow. Ralph's a good dude.
he's a great guy.
Funny. as
And
heck,
we've
too.
stayed in touch for all these years. So.
Yeah, you should be on the Wingman book chapter, boy, because that's it. You've been friends that long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I've known these guys since grade school, high school.
Yeah.
A lot less hair.
Same thing.
So 20 years, basically 20
Yeah.
years you've known each
Yeah.
other.
40.
No, he's right.
50.
Will you stop?
Yeah, he's trying to
he
help
had
us.
it
I know.
right.
I know.
Gotta pick up.
I'm
on
senile.
this.
See?
Yeah, I'm senile. All right.
Yeah, it all works. So when did, like, you encompass 30 years, does that include the police work?
So yeah, that goes back to when I was 17. Actually, it'll be 33 years in a couple of days. I started in the Holbrook Fire Department, actually, for that at 14 as a junior firefighter. But that was my first entree into the business. I was 17 years old in the firehouse, and EMT was my first stop along the way.
Mhm.
I didn't stay there too long because the following year at 19, I went to paramedic school. So
And when did you squeeze law school in?
only about 12, 13 years ago. So
Wow.
I on the
After-
proverbial road less traveled.
After
but-
police.
Wow.
Yeah,
You got a lot
yeah.
of cool stuff in your.
yeah, it's I've been blessed that my personal life and my professional life have been just really a gift. But grass doesn't grow under my feet too.
No, I can see
Yeah.
that.
Nah.
Keeps them busy.
Now, when you were paramedic in EMT, did you encounter any choking incidents?
I did actually. I still practice I'm still a medic after all these
You
years.
kept up, Rich.
Yeah, and one of the it's a great ending to the story, I guess. But so I was in New York City for a while. Worked at Jamaica Hospital first part of my career. Worked at Stony Brook in the early '90s before I went to the police department. Always had a connection to the university, teaching, and was always there.
He
Well-
teaches too. He's a professor.
Oh, he's lazy.
Yeah, very.
Kept that certification too. He keeps all the certifications
Yeah.
he can get.
It's a little embarrassing.
I
It's
do.
not-
I keep.
it's
keep
not
them
something to
along
get
there.
you out of the
Shouldn't have
house.
watched that 2
No,
hours of
definitely
TV
not. No,
this morning.
great, beautiful wife and 4 kids. A job for each kid. I used to say
Wow.
along the way. but-
Because Pat,
Yeah.
Pat talks about ice fishing, right?
Yes. It's,
How much
it's how
do
you
you
get out
have
of
to
the
hate your
house.
family?
Yes.
Yeah,
Not
that's
the
his
case with the
route.
Zachary.
I don't even like fishing.
No, definitely.
I'll go. Told me a hut.
No, but I've had several, we call in the business, a full foreign body airway obstruction over the years. And the story that was just told, peanut butter, cheese, the things that are just whether there's, a mechanical issue with the patient or just volume, meatballs, hot dogs,
Steaks, but
steaks.
you get
right?
peanut butter a
Big-
lot.
big
don't we?
piece. And peanut butter is, it's just persistent.
Think
right?
about
So-
it. Yeah, it's thick and it's.
Well,
So-
it flexes, so it's
Yeah.
hard to, especially with the chest compressions or abdominal thrust, to get a good burst. You
Totally.
don't have enough volume.
Yeah. So over the years, I mean, tens of thousands of patients, but more than many of full foreign body airway obstructions with Magill forceps and the whole 9 yards, where a civilian is never in a million years will they be able to do anything.
Well,
I
that's
think
why I
what-
invented it, because when I started researching about it, right, the abdominal thrust don't always work, and it's nothing about the rescuer. It's the size of the person, the air in the lungs. All there's variable factors to generate force from the body. But then the next level up is paramedic grade. I'm not taking Miguel's and going in my daughter when my whole being is about to explode. I would never, even if I was trained, I wouldn't feel comfortable that her life's on the line and I need that skill. I'd rather you to come.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get there in time. You're in Stony Brook. I'm in Massapequa. So,
and they're perishable skills to begin with. Right?
Yeah.
So that's the beauty.
yeah,
of the
you got to keep
device.
working them
Yeah.
and practicing. But I mean, we all appreciate it as just mere humans. But I needed dum-dum proof. I needed something you could just push and pull and freak out.
And to just force multipliers of back of a police car. Pick it, put it in an Uber, all the
Yeah.
different places where.
Well, now we're
Food is
starting to see,
consumed.
like when Mr. 3000 comes on, and he was in his car and he pulled over, and 2 other people pulled over, came running out with LifeVacs.
Yeah, I mean that's the story, right?
Yeah. Well, your paramedics are like usually spread out quite a bit, right? There's
Yep.
one per X amount of departments. You got your EMS and their BLS trained. So thank God, thank you for them, but they're kind of trapped too.
Yeah.
And I always felt that having a BLS option for those poor EMTs that kind of trapped at the point of they don't get that obstruction out, they got an option. Now.
Yep.
And now you saw the Red Cross stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Absolutely.
I just got to chill.
Yeah.
But it's a fire extinguisher for choking.
Yeah,
Seriously,
pretty
I mean,
much.
you don't want to have to put the fire out in your
Except
house.
it
but-
doesn't expire, because that's what inspired making it not expire. Because I would always go in my shop. Every time I finally pulled out my stupid fire extinguisher,
Yeah.
the little arrow being the red.
Especially when you need it.
Little piece of paper, a little card with a luggage tag and a wire.
Yeah.
Supposed to be inspected.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it's
clicked
like a
out.
hand grenade.
76.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you do at Stony Brook now?
So now I have the best job in the world. I think it's
I thought I did.
sort of we're in competition maybe,
Oh,
but it's a collection and a culmination of all the things that I've done. So I'm the vice president for enterprise risk management and chief security officer. So it is you name it.
Daunting.
Yeah, it's daunting as a word. I have 400 of the most awesome people. I have the best team anywhere.
wow.
I don't care what anyone else at Stony Brook says. We have the best team.
There's a statute of limitations, right? Because I went to
Yeah,
Stony Brook.
he's an alumni.
Well, we'll talk to you about that.
Yeah,
have
his
some
jacket?
people-
Is
yeah,
that the
Oh,
file
I
that you
didn't
had
get
earlier?
Yeah, it's,
Oh,
and,
for
and
God's
the
sake.
rest of it is some
It's so
people in the
funny.
lobby. We got to talk.
But I
yeah.
got to tell you a quick funny story. When we went there one night, we snuck up to the top of the medical building. We're laying
Allegedly.
on the roof.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
May or may
hence-
not have.
Back when he wasn't head of
hence the
security.
Statute of limitations. And we were all laying watching stars. It was the first time I saw a satellite. So I always remember that night and that's a great,
It's
so
a great.
high.
It
and
is.
it's
It is
dark.
the
and-
highest place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Was it a satellite?
yeah. It was
Okay.
the first time I saw a satellite.
Alright.
Because
Very nice.
back then, now you see them anywhere.
But you
I thought
shouldn't
you were
have
talking
been.
about the band. Okay.
I know that we weren't that bold.
And secondly, what is a sea wolf?
Yeah, no one knew.
Well,
I
what's
think
the
that
answer?
was it.
What is a seawolf?
I have no idea.
Oh, that's the wrong answer.
What is it?
I'm a seawolf. What's a seawolf? I'm a seawolf.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the-
Oh, that's
part of the
the.
whole thing. Yeah, that's
Half the
wolf,
Michigan
you
State.
see wolf?
we definitely
Go
have
red,
to.
go
We're gonna
blue.
meet you in the lobby after this
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh no, my file's coming up.
Yes. My daughter goes to Michigan State. If you say go green, you have to say go white back. That's the.
See, so someone.
But what's a sea wolf? I'm a sea wolf.
I'm a
Okay.
Okay.
I am
you go.
not.
Has anyone asked you?
I got 1190 on my SATs. I was
think
not a
we were
sea
like
wolf.
ducks back then. We didn't have anything. I went there.
Courage.
Well, you were the
Yeah,
Patriots,
correct.
but you were the
We were
Patriots.
the
back
Patriots.
then. Yeah.
Yes.
Division 3. It was a
Yeah.
much different world.
There was a field. That was where the football game was. It was a stadium.
Now it's a
Live?
nice turf. team
Yeah,
stadium.
I know. I gotta go
Gotta
back. Come
wonder-
on, have me to a game.
We're gonna. I'm
An
gonna
alumni.
VIP invite. We're gonna
Yeah.
bring you back
Oh, I like
to the roof of the hospital.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I've actually been up there myself. I
Burn that
put up
file.
antennas up there. I have.
Did you really?
And there was
Who would think there'd be a Stony Brook Hospital roof connection?
But there was you guys had a genius working for you. He lived in Pennsylvania and he'd come up for the week. He knew every frequency of every antenna on the rooftop, from hospital to carriers. Yeah. It's like Mike something, I forget. He has to be retired now. This was 15 years ago.
We're going to hear from him tonight. He's going to be watching the show. He's going to get. He's going to be our call-in.
He's also in the lobby.
Yes. So when did you hear? Going back, besides the Benelli connection, when did you hear about or become aware of LifeVac?
It's a great question. It's definitely a few years back, and you know, whether it's the on social media or the commercials that you know that you have out there. I mean, it's and the one that we saw while we were mentioning here. So, you said it. It's not a forum on the people. It is you know, we'll say dummy proof, but
right. That was a goal.
Just pull and move.
Yeah, and now Ray will give us an update. But when you see the whole saves and you see 3,600 plus lives all sitting on the wall, like what happened was the numbers, like, you know, we saved 0 the first year, 0 the second year, 6 the third year, 13, 53. You know, these are years, right? It's a decade. But it became a number. It's 3,000, it's 4,000. And people lose touch with the fact that that's so many families, fathers, mothers, grandparents, friends. And when you see the wall, it kind of brings it back.
Well, you touched on it before. That's just what you know, right?
Yeah.
And it's probably double or triple.
I think so too.
The unknowns.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got to be underreported. Got to be. Yeah. Just from the folks that have approached Arthur, approach us at.
If 2 people are running out of a car on the highway with these in their car,
Right.
I'm sure they've heard about it from someone who said, "I'm going to go get one."
We have the first time in history we have a chance to virtually eliminate a leading cause of accidental death. Right? If we get them out there and because they're inexpensive and they last forever, over time we can have a segment that comes on the nightly news because someone choked.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be outrageous?
Yeah.
That's the news.
So by the way, the
16
number
people are going to die today.
Right. The number we're chasing is 5,000 people.
And that's what they know of, right? And I'm starting, you know, you get the feeling.
I guess with COVID,
No, I'm
I
saying
think we learned that during COVID times. Everything was, you know, put as natural causes. COVID.
Totally.
One day it's a risk assessment, you know. We just met with a large insurance company, and ever since the Red Cross statement came out, the Red Cross statement has a lot of impact because they included when it can't be done, right? And that kind of pushed it into the world of the ADA, people in wheelchairs, people with medical braces, even a scoliosis brace. And I think it's a God-given sense. It raised awareness, right? Because everyone's been in there. You look at the poster, you watch Mrs. Doubtfire, Wolf of Wall Street, and God, those are great, right? It's a way to educate the public, but it's never been the problem has always been those people with disabilities have so many variations anyway. It's difficult to get your arms around it. And if you can, they may have something that you don't want to do it, right? So I think that was a huge step of awareness.
Yeah.
Right. But in retrospect too, it kind of increases a liability system. Do you think that's true?
So to the extent that you can, you try to play to the law of averages, right? So the overwhelming majority, you're carving out people that will benefit, right? It is a risk versus reward, right? So to make it where the layperson, especially, or even the trained provider, right? So we talk about police officers. If a police officer, if they come in an EMT in the police academy, that's sort of on the higher end, right? To the extent they can keep that. If they get basic first aid or certified first responder, that's probably the national average. So to have someone who can simply just do a quick assessment and not necessarily have to do all this rumination in the head, I think you wind up on the better side with the information that's going to come out of it. I do think though that you'll have questions, and I'll take my lawyer hat on or put it off.
I forgot he's an attorney.
Well, that's, so what did Shakespeare say? First kill all the lawyers, right? That's rule number one. I think
but
that
you have other hats, so we don't have to kill you.
No, well, please don't.
You're safe here.
Yeah, I keep the paramedic hat on for this one.
There you go.
Everyone loves paramedics,
Yay.
right? There's no, they don't necessarily love cops, but
And we love friends of the Benellis. Let's be honest.
yeah, for the most
right?
part, you're safe with that. So it'll be interesting to see how how the impact plays out.
Well, two good things, regardless, and it's going to happen, but hopefully it's because of saves. You know what else I noticed, and you would know because you've been in these situations. numerous times people, whether it's police or lay people, have said they're more calm, right? And I think there's almost we almost scared too bad. Seconds count, right? It's really minutes count, right? So breathe, get your stuff together, and go take on this situation. And numerous parents have said, they were freaking out, and then they said, "Oh my God, there is something I could do. Hold on,
Yep,
go get it." Relax, and especially
There's
both
time.
parents, the one who lay the child down, the other one who get it.
Yeah.
But it's cool to watch the unanticipated benefits, right?
yeah. If you think about the average person who takes a CPR class because they're having a kid or
Right.
babysitters, whatever, you do it once, they may never ever use those skills ever.
No.
But they remember ABC. But if you're now in the situation and you know A and you can't get past A, right? Vapor lock.
Yeah.
So that's really the true benefit there is that you remove any thought, remove the human component. You just follow the process.
And I think too that this is all kind of sociological depth of mystery, but I love talking to people who've been in the field and understand it because they've faced it. The Heimlich doesn't exist, right? You can't hold it. So I took the course. She was, I never took it again.
Yep.
I mean, she was 7 when I came up with this, but it's kind of out there. It doesn't make it present. Having something physical makes you think about it more, makes you be more prepared in the sense of if something happens, I know that that's there.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we want everyone to get trained. Get Red Cross trained. Go out there. It's a good thing. Then there's other components to it. It will help your mental makeup, that you feel more comfortable and confident. But I did see that having a physical object has brought more awareness to it, of the frequency of it, and has taken some panic out.
And again, perishable skill. If you practice it once on a mannequin in the library or in your local high school, and you never ever do it until you need to, there's too much time to waste where you.
That's why I put a practice, man. It's so cool talking to you because all these things that I kind of was guessing on.
Well, you guess right.
Yeah, I guess I did. Hey, I guess I did.
It's Stony Brook education.
That's what it is, right? Because I'm a seawolf.
What's
Hey,
a
listen.
seawolf?
Yeah,
I'm a
I'm a
seawolf.
Hey, listen, you're
We're
listening
all
to
seawolves tonight.
Lauren Zacharias. She's the Vice President of Enterprise Risk Management and the Chief Security Officer at Stony Brook University, but it could be any university around the country, but he's ours. We're going to hear more with Larry Zacharias after this message.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I have 30 seconds to give you a very important message. My name is Arthur Lee. I'm the CEO and inventor of LifeVac, a simple choking rescue device that could save a life in a choking emergency. We've saved over 3,000 lives now, but we're not there. 5,000 people a year choke to death, 1 child every 5 days. Please consider protecting your family in a choking emergency with LifeVac. Go to lifevac.net today. Thank you for your time.
A seawolf.
A true seawolf.
And we're back on the Man in the Arena. We've been blessed with the presence of Larry Zacharias, Chief Security Officer at Stony Brook University. I got a little caught up there
but he's
because
like
it's
5
amazing.
guests. We gotta
CSO.
come back because
Right.
like he could come on as different people.
He might be what we call a regular in the business.
Yeah.
I know it's a little bit of a away game for
He was
you.
saying off air how much he likes it.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that much away. It's pretty close.
All right, listen,
happy
I'm
to
not
come
going to
back
fight
anytime.
you. I'm not anytime. But before the break, we were talking
Wealth of
about
knowledge.
LifeVac and the risks associated with it. When does it come into play, Arthur? You were talking about the training for Heimlich, but let's talk about the failure. Get trained. It doesn't always work.
Well, it's just statistics. I mean, it's depending on who's doing it. If you're fully trained, you got about 80% chance it's going to work. Lay people in the field, or as you said, that have not practiced, that aren't doing it perfectly, drops. But it's nothing against them. We should get trained. But
absolutely.
But the bottom line is, and here's where the Red Cross statement is so important, in my opinion. I've been in a lot of facilities, MS, Parkinson's, cerebral palsy, numerous veterans, wheelchairs. And there is very little standard to how you rescue a person in the wheelchair, and it can be dangerous. Steve Way cannot be given the Heimlich or the CPR. His body cannot take that force. So I think with the statement from the Red Cross of when it fails or cannot be done, is not feasible, is exactly how the Red Cross writes it. That we have a moment where everyone now is a chance, right? So in our schools, our special needs, places where, particularly where there's a good chance, right? You know, we're people and we want to do what's right. Everywhere would be good. But we're really faced with it. And while I love the police have it, you know, a bunch of their saves have been in an elder care environment where the person's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we're blessed that they included that.
The word feasible, you know, again, it was a lawyer chose that word for a reason, right?
Red Cross doesn't mess around.
No, but I think it gives the most latitude without boxing either the Red Cross on their statement, the device or the eventual user of it. I think it's the cleanest
because
way.
too, that's always been the problem with protocol for persons in that capacity would have to be like the phone book.
Yeah.
You know, so I think they did a good lawyer and ethical job of using that word because it could be someone obese, it could be someone pregnant, you know, it could be someone big and the rescuer small.
You looked over here. What's going on?
Sorry, Pat. I just remember trying to pretend I'm like you.
You were just trying to hug me. Kid yourself.
I like hugging you, but that is true. And but it's a great word because it does jar the mind.
Yep.
Well, I was at a party once and they were asking me questions and the wife goes to her husband laughingly and she goes, "Oh, I can't even get my arms around you." And then I saw her freaking realize that she can't get her arms around them.
Yeah.
They got a LifeVac because if he choked, he's dead.
Yep.
And like, you know, she
And
could
sometimes-
jump on top of him, I guess.
Yeah.
But she did poison him. That's the end
Well,
of the
she
story.
killed him
Yes.
another way. Say we're married a long time.
I
She
always
was
say
actually
that.
annoyed when you gave him the life back at Christmas.
You idiot.
I do get questions in some Costco's when we've been out there talking to the public about intentional choking. LifeVac to this point doesn't do anything for intentional. So it's just the accidental choking.
Yeah.
Again, that's a whole nother show. We'll
Whole
have
nother
to
show.
talk about it.
I think we're
But
not
the
going to do
people-
well with that
People
show.
seem to care.
Yes.
So we're gonna work on it like we are with Suffolk County PD. We're in every Nassau County police car. We need to get there, you know, pushing it. Suffolk County PD. I see Heidi nodding.
We're good.
No, we're in. So
Colleges,
you're
yeah,
in every.
but we're on
You're
our
in
way.
every Nassau police car now.
Yeah,
True.
Heidi said we
Fantastic.
got 2 more police saves. I think, what is that for Nassau County? How many? 6? 7? 7 saves. Well, the police, you know, they get
Wow.
there first.
Yep.
And they also have to face that devastation.
Of waiting, right?
Yeah. Well,
They don't have something.
They got to wait for the bus.
Right.
And if it don't come in 3 minutes,
Ordinarily, without a LifeVac, they're
you were a
attempting.
police officer and a firefighter.
And a paramedic.
Busy man.
You're like a Swiss Army knife.
Like a, I would say MacGyver, but I might date
Yeah,
myself.
no,
but
go with it.
there's a lot of gray up here,
Yeah.
so I can say that.
Yeah, isn't that so
They-
funny?
people watching that probably don't know
I
what
said
that is.
Rambo to my niece and nephew once. They're like,
Rambo.
"Who?" And I'm like, "You don't know Rambo?"
You're probably handy around the house too.
Oh, give him a toothpick.
I
It's all over.
can hold my own. I can hold my own.
Wow.
Take a rubber band, a paper clip,
So you know
watch
what?
a satellite.
I was reading your bio, and I wanted to talk to you
It's
about
long.
Yeah.
your preparedness. You teach preparedness, and you successfully covered at a very critical time the COVID-19 pandemic at a university.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Totally changed my my professional career. The trajectory of it for sure. I don't think I'd have the job I have right now if we didn't have the successes that we did. Certainly changed the industry of emergency management and preparedness, and opened up people's eyes to crisis leadership. And we had a great team, great leadership team at the time, and I was kind of thrust into the position because of my former role as the emergency management guy. I had some experience with swine flu from when I first got there in 2009. So we sort of had some plans we had to pretty quickly throw out. But we went from, just getting briefings every day from, the governor, like everybody else, and watching, to we built a 1,000-bed field hospital on our campus that was never used, but in the middle of the campus. Ultimately turned up the first Suffolk County COVID testing site. We had a drive-through testing site, and then became the premier, I would say, vaccination site. Stony Brook University and Stony Brook Medicine, all of our partners with the state and others. We wound up delivering more than 650,000 vaccines to,
Wow.
to Suffolk County at the
To be a
time.
part of that was true mission sensitive, right? It was a mission. Like I always say, we don't have a job, we have a mission. Our mission's and choking. You had a crunch phase, Ty. You had to land on the moon in a 2-week mission.
While we had, our hospital was obviously providing care to, to Suffolk County. We 50,000 people normally on our campus. So we had students abroad. We brought them back, then we sent them home. It was a very, very trying time. It's the most challenging of my career, but the most rewarding for sure.
My sister graduated Stony Brook Medical School.
Is that right?
Yeah. Gastroenterology.
Okay.
My son as well. He's a doctor of physical therapy, Stony Brook. A lot of great alumni.
My kids couldn't get into Stony Brook.
Yeah. Well, trust me,
We
when
waited
I
for me to
got
top
in,
that.
it was 13th grade,
Yeah.
It was a
So what did you get? What did Stony Brook and you, Larry Zacharies, get right that and served as the model that was so different from the folks that weren't getting it right?
Yeah, I think we knew enough to know that while the world was proverbially shutting down everywhere, that we have our research could not stop. Our Stony Brook medicine could not shut the doors and go out of business. And Stony Brook plays a crucial role for the economy. There was all these things that we don't have the ability to go out of business. Business continuity is a big part of my job then and now. So we took some risks for sure. There were calculated risks, and we anticipated things. And we had a great president at the time who unfortunately left us to go to Yale to be the president.
Oh my goodness!
But we have a new president coming from Princeton, so we're excited about that. Stony Brook is it's the #1 public research university in New York State.
Wow.
We're the flagship. Don't tell Buffalo. There's 2 flagships, but we're the flagship.
Budding rivalry.
Yeah. So we, again, it's not, we don't just pull the shade down and say out of business, come back in 2.5 years. We powered through, and I think we became a model for a lot of places.
That's fantastic. Larry Zacharies, Vice President, Enterprise Risk Management, the Chief Security Officer at Stony Brook University. We thank you so much for coming in. And
thanks for
if
having
you
me.
promise a regular.
I'll come back whenever I'm invited.
No, you seem to be an expert on a lot of
That's
topics.
what I was
yeah,
thinking.
so
That's
we
what
can
I
have
was
you back.
thinking. That'd be good for topic.
Ranked amateur.
Is this infected?
Yeah.
He's a doctor too.
Dermatology is not my.
It is
If
next
your
week.
bone- if your
Study up. Bone up.
Yeah,
If your bone's sticking out, I can help you. But
Wow.
By then he'll be a doctor. But he'll be
No, I know if I have a
I'll go home
compound
and
fracture,
study.
that's a problem.
Are you currently in school?
My wife is probably listening. I don't know, but I'm considering doing a PhD at this point.
For God's
I'm
sakes.
getting a little.
And she didn't know
bored.
yet.
Unbelievable.
Uh-oh.
We're all
Maybe he's
underachievers
not
here.
allowed back on. This
He's
is
an
embarrassing.
overachiever.
If
Yeah.
the doors are locked, the locks are changed, I'll come back here.
Making us look bad. We're going to be
New
coming
host
right
next week.
back with Mr. 3K.
Yes.
Ray Priebe.
All right.
Thank you so much, Larry
Thank you.
Zacharies.
Appreciate
Appreciate you.
that. Thank
We'll be right back.
I was in the living room when I heard my son Carter, who was 2 at the time. I looked over and I saw him grabbing for his face and his throat. I grabbed the LifeVac. I put the mask on his face and placed push-pull. The LifeVac dislodged the ice cube from his airway and he started crying. The most amazing sound I've ever heard in my entire life. Please protect your family. Get a LifeVac.
You want to jump on?
Let's do 8.
Oh,
Heidi, you want to come back on for Ray?
Hey, we're back.
Go with 8.
We're back on the Man in the Arena. I'm Rick Fatscher, along with Pat O'Rourke, Arthur Lee, and Heidi Felix. Boy, was that fun. Talking to Larry Zacharies.
Knowledge and various experiences, man. If you want to solve problems, have a broad brain, and then to expertise, and you got something useful there.
Yeah, Pat.
But then to say on the air, he's taking another class.
Yeah, I
His
know.
wife
I
doesn't
knew
know
that
yet.
was coming.
I thought he was smart right till
Who
the end.
sneaks
Right till the end.
education from the wife? Like,
Yeah,
guy
that
was
is
a
a
cop.
good. That
This
is
guy
a
was a
good
cop.
guy.
yeah. I mean, I've snuck nights at the Eds Lodge. Honey, I'm going to study at the library.
Believe me,
You
his wife at this point is
jerk.
not shocked that he's
Yeah,
taking
no,
another
no.
class.
But that's
Wow.
if your husband's sneaking around getting educated, I
Yes.
think you're in good shape.
Yeah, for sure.
There are
I didn't
worse-
have one of those.
Yeah, I was going to say,
No.
there are worse sneaking around.
Foreign to me. But at this point in the show, on the Man in the Arena, we always check
Yes,
in
so
with the
excited.
LifeVac saves for the week, the totals. He gives it to us all.
'Cause
We had
he-
18
Ray
last week.
Priebe.
Yeah.
From Cape Coral, Florida, everybody. Ray Priebe.
Men and women of the arena. Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight?
Yo, was your birthday yesterday?
Yes, my birthday was yesterday.
Happy
birthday.
Thank you. The big 50.
To you. Yeah. Like the dance party at the show.
Yes, it was a big one, the big 50. I'm officially, no, I'm not old yet. We're getting there.
Oh, we're way older than you, right?
Young man.
You got time.
I'm 39. What are you talking about?
That's right.
I just the Irish their age. Well, that's all.
Not too much sun, Pat.
Not enough.
All right, for tonight's numbers, Bobby, go ahead and roll that footage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You have the 4,000 pool. Start that now.
I know.
Yeah.
1,605 saves to date, recorded saves, because we all know there's a whole lot more out there, folks.
Yes.
2,255 children saved to date. We are exactly 130 days from number 3,000 saves, and we have 605 saves in 130 days.
Yeah.
Big shout out. That's a great number right there.
What do you know about that 3,000 save? Ray?
I'm sorry?
Talk to me about that 3,000 save.
That was a big one. That was a big one. That was my little girl Maya, who was choking on a piece of hard candy while driving home from a birthday party. Obviously, my wife did her best to get the candy out of her throat while driving. Needless to say, we did have to pull over. We tried the back compressions 4 times that were unsuccessful. Thank God we and other drivers had a LifeVac. We used the LifeVac on my daughter first time, pulled the candy right out, and God blessed us with pedestrians who also stopped to assist while holding their LifeVac.
Love it. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Amazing.
You join us every week and you dazzle us with stats and updates, and you and Donna Yaisley get together.
Now we count on him.
Yes.
To find out what's going on.
We rely because we can't.
So this week alone, 26 saves just this week.
Love
Yeah,
it.
we had a bunch of international. What, we have 3 candidates yesterday, I think?
Yep, 2 Canadas. Yes.
Oh,
Canada.
Quick math. That's averaging like 90 a month since 3,000.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Good
crazy.
math.
Yes.
Check out the
amazing stats.
Well, I'm no Seawolf, but
and no calculator.
I'm a Seawolf.
yeah, carrying the 4.
What's that abacus in front of you?
130 days. That's 4 months and 10 days, right?
Nice.
And I have the highlight of the week.
Yeah, let's hear it. I love this.
It's a good one. It actually came in today. It's a 15-month-old little boy in Minnesota who choked on cereal and milk. Here's some notes from the parents. We were eating cereal and he started throwing a tantrum with a mouthful of food. He inhaled the food that was in his mouth. At that point, he was trying to gasp for air. We tried hitting his back while putting him upside down. All I could see was milk foaming in the back of his throat. My husband put him on his back, and I used the LifeVac. With one pump, it was out, and he could breathe again. I truly think if we wouldn't have had the LifeVac, this could have been much worse.
You know, and those are so natural because, you know, they just come in. Bing.
Yeah.
And when you hear something like that, you're like, right?
I just got
15-month-old, you
I know.
start
you
feeling
put yourself in their shoes with that panic and that relief.
Especially when they do
finally
like
clears.
the Jim Kerr thing and they give you a little bit of insight, and then he started foaming up, and then we laid him down, and now your head is starting to go, oh my God, imagine that happened.
You picture your child like you did when you
And a
invented it.
15-month-old man.
Oh, 15 months.
And I can tell you, even when I tell my story to whoever will listen, even today, I mean, this happened back on October 20th of last year. So again, fairly recent. But even as I tell my story, it's difficult not to get choked up.
Yeah. Tim Weiss, man. Tim Weiss, you know, war hero, EMT. Every time he tells it, he gets.
Yep.
You know,
The Chicago firefighter?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's
Tough
a
guy,
veteran.
too. Like, he's
Tough
a
as
scary
hell.
guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with him.
And But anyway, I did some more numbers.
More numbers.
We
more
should
math.
hit it. July 4th will be the under-over date for 4,000.
Nice. Oh, I love it. Way to
If
go.
you-
All right, Mr. 3000
we keep going at this
and
pace.
Mr. Countdown. That's your new job, Pat.
I'm saying it's under. I'm saying it's before July 4th.
Yeah, I like
That would be the average.
I'm going to say it's before July 4th.
You got to get a pool going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a pool going.
Yeah, this
Carry
will
money?
this show will air on the weekend
No.
sometime in
He
March,
spends it on education.
right? The middle
Little
of March.
weirdo.
Yeah, this-
But our next show will have a formulated contest for guessing the date for 4,000.
and we'll only be 3 weeks behind.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Again,
He'll probably beat
All right,
it.
folks, before I sign out here, I'm going to go ahead and give my wisdom here.
yes.
LifeVac. Have it and don't need it. Don't need it and not have it. The life you could save could be your own. Thanks, folks. God bless.
All right,
Thank
Ray.
you, Ray. Thank you, Ray. Happy birthday. I'll
Thanks,
see
Ray.
you soon. I'm seeing them in 2 weeks, a week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But this
we're
show's
doing
delayed 2 weeks, so we'll see you in a month.
I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know what's
Yeah,
happening.
it's hard to tell. Again, just
I'll
as a
have
reminder,
seen you yesterday.
some folks are watching this live, but most folks that are going to be listening to this, it's a few weeks from now. It's kind of in the
mess
future.
with their heads.
So again, if anything's going on in your world and you're hearing this on the weekend in LA, Houston, Orlando, and New York, and we seem insensitive to it, it's not that.
maybe
It's
we
not that
are.
at all. Sometimes we'll be accused of it, but in this case,
We'll get over it.
We were taped a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
so it's all good. What a
It's all
great,
good.
what a great show. Heidi joined us for the first time.
Oh
Thank
man,
you.
that was a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Thank
nice
you.
to have you on our
So-
new
so
show.
good. Yeah, absolutely.
Heidi Felix,
and
Patrick
there is
O'Rourke.
women in the arena too.
Yes,
I've been
great
here from the
point.
beginning.
Oh
so
yeah, she's in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
No
How many years now?
Weta and
5 years. But
We
10 years, I
What's
did
that,
a
happy
couple
to
years
be-
for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was some volunteer
I like
hours
that.
in there.
Yeah.
Hey, you could start the Weta show, Women in the Arena,
Ooh.
Yeah.
and then we could have like tug of wars.
If you could only find a studio to do
Water
it.
boy.
Yeah, but you can't say it
Great
like that. You can't go,
studio.
ooh, I like that. It'll turn into the wrong kind of show.
Yeah, no, you're right. And there's little dangerous weed. Yeah, oh boy.
It'd be
work on
popular.
it.
Yeah.
We'll work on it. We're a work in progress. But
Yes.
I'm Rick Fatscher, along with Patrick O'Rourke and Arthur Lee, CEO and inventor of the LifeVac.
Man.
Fantastic. What a gift to humanity. We had Larry Zacharis on tonight. Great. We heard from Ginny Dean, and it's just so great to connect with men and women in the arena from across this great country of ours. We look forward to seeing you next week on The Man in the Arena. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
And
Woo!
women.
Thank you. And we.
And sing along if you know the words.
It's no joke when you choke, so get LifeVac and live. Without breath, there'll be death. So get LifeVac and live. Get LifeVac and live. Get LifeVac and live.
LifeVac and live.